everybody, and welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League. This is our Saturday evening multi-class challenge. So this season we've got the Group 3, Group 4 cars on track at the same time, in teams obviously. So Group 3, Group 4 car will be one team, etc. You'll get the gist of it as we go along. We're at round 2. We were at Deep Forest last week. This week we have come over to Tokyo, and we are on the expressway south clockwise track. Many tracks in Tokyo. It's a street circuit, many tracks, but we are on the south track and we are going clockwise. A little bit more about the track in a minute. First of all, I do want to say a big thank you to our sponsors for this season, and that's w.gg. If you head over to their website and check their products out, they are the energy drink for gamers. And as I say, if you do go and check their website out and enter the code URL7, you can get yourself a bit of a discount on some of their products. So that's w.gg. And a new sponsor for this season, EAC, Eldridge Air Conditioning. Fantastic to have you on board, guys. Really great to have you, and thank you for sponsoring us this season. Also, just want to quickly say, if you do like this type of content and you do want to see more of these races, if you can hit that like button, and if you haven't already, if you could subscribe, it would really help the channel out. So thank you for that, and thank you for everybody that already has subscribed. It means a lot. So, as I say, onwards and upwards with this race. I've mentioned already we're over at Tokyo on the expressway south clockwise. It's a 3.2 mile track, street circuit, 15 turns, although if you look at some sites they'll say there's 17. Not quite sure where they're getting the extra 2 from. And in fact on this one, 7 and 8 really isn't 2 turns, but yeah, we'll see. You can only go by what you're being told, can't you? So yeah, that's the track. Barriers all the way around, so if you do decide to go off track, you'll be quickly thrown back onto it. So this is one of the reasons I like this these type of tracks, because you can't actually leave it, which is fantastic. We've got 2 races for you today, 2 30-minute races. Tyres, you have to use softs, you have to use mediums in each race. So there will be a pit stop. Not sure about the fuel. It depends whether the guys look after their fuel or not. But yeah, you do have to change tyres. And there is the red tyre rule as well, which basically means if your one of your tyres goes completely red, you do have to pit and get it changed after 1 lap. You cannot drive around with it on full red. So we'll get going into this then. We'll have a rundown of the grid order. I'm going to start at the back, usually start at the front, but we're going to start at the back. Bit F1 style-y now, eh? So we're going to have a lot few new drivers on track for this week, different from last week, but great to have them there. Stealth has managed to join us for this race, so Stealth finds himself on 12th. On 12th? Get there in a minute. Malpiece is 11th. 10th on the grid is Nath. 9th is Brian Moncani. 8th is Big Mac. 7th is Idle 4 Gaming. 6th is Biggest. 5th is Phaser. Smoky Tom is 4th. Derv is 3rd. Unforgiven is 2nd. And Grasshopper is 1st on the grid. So without any more messing about from me, let's just get this race started, shall we? As I say, it's the first one's 30-minute race. Nice and dry out there. Very rarely rains over in Tokyo, does it? So Grasshopper gets us underway. It is a rolling start. For those of you who are expecting them all to be lined up, it's not. It is a rolling start. And as I say, we are away. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my map up in front of me. As Grasshopper takes us down towards turn 5. This incidentally is where the pit lane is. A pretty bloody awkward place to put the pit lane, but that's where it is. So we'll just run down the order. We've got Grasshopper in 1st, Unforgiven in 2nd, Phaser 3rd, Derg is 4th, Smoky Tom 5th, and we've got Biggest, Idle 4 Gaming in the Merc, Brian Moncani, the Big Mac, Nath, Stealth and Molepiece. So Stealth has managed to make up a spot already, and Molepiece down at the back, as Grasshopper manages to open up a bit of a gap already, only a slight one in the Corvette. Through this tricky chicane section, you get that wrong, it's going to throw you to right, and that's pretty much your race over with. And also, if you spin sideways, you will block the road, and I am speaking from experience. So Grasshopper out in front, across the line to start lap 2. Unforgiven just sitting behind him in the BMW. He is, yes he is in the BMW. So Unforgiven in second, Phaser in third. He's got Derg all over the back of him. Derg looking to make a move as they head down towards turn 5. Let's go on board with Derg, shall we? Very tight right hand hairpin, turn 5, and it looks like Derg's got it done. He has, so Derg's got it done. He's gone through to third, Phaser drops to fourth. Great move from Derg, he just a little bit sharper on the brakes. Excuse me, still got this cough. So Phaser has to drop in and sit behind Derg, following through this tunnel. As we head down towards turn 11, I think turns 9 and 10 are somewhere in that tunnel. Not really a turn. As we head through the chicane again, you can see the cars bumping across those sausages. You really don't want to get across them sausages. Good little fight going on with Smokey and Phaser though. Smokey trying to get all over the back of Phaser, trying to line him up in his Peppa Pig car. We mentioned this last week. Smokey Tom, massive fan of Peppa Pig, which is why they've gone for that livery. I think he's having a look at the outside. It's now side by side with Phaser through the tricky turns 2, 3 and 4. Oh, he's just had to slot in back behind Phaser again. Phaser's having none of that, is he? We will get used to which cars are which. I was saying last week, you find it very difficult to see which cars are which, and I did get told there was something about the coloured numbers, but looking at some of them, some haven't got numbers on, and some of the numbers are just black, so I thought it was supposed to be red and blue or something. As we see, Biggest doesn't seem to have a number on that McLaren. Idle 4 in the murky, as he's got the blue 24. Now I think blue is group 4, so any blue number is a group 4 car. That's Idle Gaming down in 7. Good to see Idle back on track with us. He was with us for a few seasons back and then had to leave for health reasons, but he's back and it's great to see him on track. Brian Moncani, we know how quick Brian Moncani is. Had a fantastic season in the Porsche GT3 on a Wednesday a season ago. Brian absolutely ran away with that. Getting a bit squiggly through there though. But we do know Brian is quick in that Mustang. We shall see. We know the Mustang's quick, so combined efforts of Brian and the Mustang, I'm looking forward to some good things from Brian. Then we've got the Big Mac carrying a penalty already. I don't think you can get many penalties on this track, as I say, you're not allowed to leave it, but Big Mac's managed to find one. Sitting in 9th. 10th is Stealth, and another McLaren. Stealth wasn't with us last week, I think he was away. If I remember rightly, he was off sunning himself on his yacht somewhere in the Caribbean, but he's back this week and it's great to see him on track. Then we've got Molepiece in 11th and Nath in 12th. Nath obviously a regular, and it's always great to see Nath out on track, trying to get onto the back of Maltese. As we follow them down through turns 9 and 10 in the tunnel. So back up to our leader, Grasshopper, starting to stretch his legs a bit now in that Corvette. Seems to have tamed it. It's not wouldn't have been my first choice of car on this type of track. It's very twitchy at the rear end, but Grasshopper seems to have tamed it and doing a great job. He is starting to pull away. He's actually on the racing softs at the minute, and you can see the wear he's starting to kick in. We're only on lap 5 and we're only 7 minutes in, so Grasshopper needs to keep an eye on them tyres, and he's already used over half a tank of fuel as well, so that Corvette is a very thirsty tyre shredder. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Unforgiven in the BMW, sitting quite comfortably at the minute. He's not under any kind of pressure. He has got Derg in the mirrors, but he's a few car lengths back, so not under any real pressure at the minute. Is Unforgiven as we go through the chicane for the 5th time. Everybody coping with that chicane at the minute. It is quite a tricky one to get through quickly. Just trying to see if everybody else is getting through it. Let's just have a idle gaming in 7. Quite a gap opening up now between 6th and 7th, but this is going to be the difference between the Group 3 and the Group 4 cars. It'll be a little bit later on in the race when we start getting the lapping going on. Things will start to get interesting then. But Brian Moncani, he can see Idle Gaming just ahead of him. Can't quite get close enough yet though. Big Mac still in 9th, Stealth in 10th, Maltese still down in 11th with Nath just behind him. Back up to Grasshopper as he goes around turn 11. I'm not sure when the pit stops will be, but looking at the fuel, I would say that Grasshopper's probably going to be pitting within the next 3 or 4 laps, I would suggest. Remember, he's got to go on to the mediums. Let's have a rundown of the tyres, shall we? So we know Grasshopper's on the softs, Unforgiven also on softs, Derg also on the softs. He loves that Lexus, doesn't he? Drives it on a Sunday, he's driving it on a Saturday. Phaser on the softs in the Merc. Biggest also on soft. Smoky Tom then, the first on the mediums. Smoky Tom does like to start the race on the harder compounds. Fantastic helmet in there. I'm trying to think of the film that's from. Answer in the comments. It'll come to me later on, I'm sure. But Smoky Tom, first on the mediums then, so he's looking to probably go a little bit further into this race on them tyres, although the fuel will determine when Smoky Tom comes in, I think. Idle 4 Gaming also on softs, Brian Moncani. Brian on the mediums then. I think Brian is the first of the Group 4 cars on the medium tyres. Then we've got Big Mac, he's also on the softs, Stealth on softs, Maltese and Nath. So quite a lot of the guys choosing to go with the softs first time out. Everybody's spreading out really. Let's just have a look. The nearest battle is going to be Maltese and Nath, I think. No Stealth. Stealth is putting a challenge in on the Big Mac. So should we go on board with Stealth? As we head down towards turn 5. This very tight right hand hairpin. Oh, and Stealth seems to get a much better drive through there. Tighter line. Better exit. A great move from Stealth. Oh, pressed the wrong button there. Let's just go back and Stealth smashing into the barriers. Like I say, the great thing about this track is if you do hit the barriers, you're not going anywhere. So Stealth harder on the brakes, tighter line through that hairpin. You can just see the Big Mac just clip the rear quarter of Stealth as well. It went round, but no damage done. Fantastic move then from Stealth to get himself up into 9th, although the Big Mac's not giving it up. He's fighting back as they go through turns 9 and 10 down towards the right-hander. The Big Mac's fighting back. Big Mac's got himself in front again, but only just. That may be that Ferrari's just got that little bit too much for the McLaren. Could have been the slipstream. We shall see as Stealth slots in behind the Big Mac down towards the chicane. Trying not to drift too far to the right. You can get a penalty at that bit there. I was saying about the penalties earlier, and the chicane is one of the areas you do get a penalty. So, although Stealth took that 9th position away, Big Mac fought back and has retaken it. So Stealth having to slot back behind the Big Mac and do it all over again. We'll just have a look through the field to see where everybody else is. Brian Moncani in 8th. I'm going to go up to the top and have a look at Grasshopper because, yeah, as I thought, his fuel light is on now, flashing. His tyres are well, the left-hand side is about 60% worn. So it is the left-hand tyres that's taking the beating now. This is where the pit lane is. Let's just see if Grasshopper comes in. He's got to stay to the left. If he's going to come into the pits, he has to stay on the left-hand side. You can see that's where he's gone. And you go into the underground car park because that's what it looks like. And it is. You can see it's the car park. The mechanics there all look coiled springs, every one of them. So Grasshopper's in. Who else is in? Unforgiven, he's come into the pits. So Derg stayed out. He's okay for fuel. He's probably got about another lap, 2 laps. So Derg has stayed out. Unforgiven's in, Phaser's in. The Grasshopper's back out again. But Unforgiven is our new race leader. Smoky Tom in 2nd. We've got Biggers with a 1 second penalty chasing Smoky Tom down. Second penalty is a bit harsh. That may have been through the chicane that he picked that up. Biggers is going to have a look at the inside. No, I thought he was going to go for it. Down towards the chicane again on lap 9. Now let's have a look at Biggers. You can see the penalty bar starting to fill up. So as we go around turn 15 then, the penalty zone is going to be as you approach. There it is. It is just as you're approaching the start finish line. So Biggers in 3rd. He's got Grasshopper now all over the back of him. Grasshopper looks to make the move on the inside and goes through. It's just that Grasshopper had the momentum after Biggers had to stop for that penalty. So Biggers now down in 4th, and Biggers is going to have to come in and pit. The fuel light's flashing. Derg has decided to come in. Let's just see what Smoky Tom is going to do. Is he going to follow Derg into the pits? No, he's not. He's decided he can get another lap out of this fuel tank. You can just see Stealth being lapped. Stealth obviously in the Group 4 car, so the Group 3s are going to be a lot quicker. We're going to see a lot more of that now. Excuse me, this is where it gets confusing when the Group 3 start to overtake the Group 4s and you don't know who's who then. But Smoky Tom is our new leader. Grasshopper is in 2nd. Grasshopper trying to get by Stealth. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it earlier on, I did last week, but the Group 4 cars don't have to move out of the way of the Group 3 cars, so guys in the Group 4 cars will stick to the racing line. It is up to the Group 3 drivers to find a way past, and safely obviously. But Grasshopper did just that. He's got by stealth, so Grasshopper now in second. Smoky Tommy's going to have to come in, so Grasshopper should retake that lead. Let's just have a look at the where they are. They're very close, so Grasshopper will retake the lead of this race as Smoky Tom heads down the hill. Just following through. You can see him sticking to the left there. You've got to keep in. You've got to keep inside that yellow line, otherwise you're going to get a pit lane penalty. So Smoky Tom is in, although he is going to change to the soft tyres. Grasshopper's out on the mediums. Unforgiven comes through. He's going to retake second position. So everybody basically slotted back into where they were before. Derg is in third. Got Molepiece behind him, but Molepiece is actually in 12th, so Molepiece in the Group 4 car is in 12th, so Derg has just lapped him. He's going to just come up to stealth as well. So let's go on board with Derg as we're trying to chase down Unforgiven as we're heading down towards turn 11. You go down the hill, and then you've got the chicane, which is 12, 13 and 14. Very bumpy across there. Like I say, those concrete sausages really throw the car off balance. And around turn 15 towards the start finish line to start lap 12, we've had 70, just approaching 18 minutes, so about 12 minutes of this race to go. Derg not under any kind of pressure from behind, so he can concentrate fully on catching up with Unforgiven. Let's just have a drop down the order. Beza in 4th. He's out on a brand new set of racing softs. Smoky Tom also out on his softs. He's in 5th. Biggest, he's done his pit stop on the medium zone now. His Biggest. Idle 4 Gaming, brand new set of mediums for Idle. Brian Moncani. Now Brian's on the softs, so let's just have a look and see what the difference is between Idle Gaming and Brian. It's not that big. So Idle Gaming just gone through the chicane and Brian just heading down to it now. You can see the blue flags waving, and that's because Grasshopper's coming up behind Brian Moncani. Brian has obviously got his own race to do. So I mentioned it earlier, Grasshopper has actually got to try and find a way past Brian safely. I'm sure Brian will move over on the straights anyway. He doesn't have to. But when they get to a straight bit, Brian will move over because he is that kind of guy. You can see there, I think he compromised his own line there to allow Grasshopper through. He didn't have to, but that's good of Brian to do so. But Brian is on a bit of a mission. He's going to try and catch up with Idle 4 Gaming. He's on the soft tyres. Oh, you can see the damage as well at the front after moving out of the way. He's also got Unforgiven and Derg has got right up to the back of Unforgiven. Now maybe it's because of the back markers, we're not sure, but Derg is there right on the arse of Unforgiven now as Brian tries to stay to the left to let these two guys through. Through the tunnel, through turns 9, 10, down the hill, then back up again. Oh, and Derg having a look at the inside. No, I think he's just trying to get himself in the mirrors of Unforgiven, trying to unnerve him. Trying to force a mistake from Unforgiven, but Alex is he's not having any of that, is he? Getting closer and closer, but you can see Grasshopper as well just ahead. So Grasshopper is going to be under pressure soon from Unforgiven. Grasshopper on the mediums, Unforgiven on the mediums, and so is Derg. So no tyre advantage. Perhaps the pressure from Derg has forced Unforgiven to put his foot down a bit. But they are now right on the back of Grasshopper, so Grasshopper not having it all his own way this time round. We have about just under 9 minutes of this race left, so let's just have a quick look at the fuel. So they're all about the same, just over half a tank. Is that going to be enough to get them to the end of the race? I think it should be. Grasshopper just coming up to the lap, idle. Idle moves over. As I say, he doesn't have to, but he does. It's all very respectful out there. Unforgiven in second still, with Derg all over the back of him. These three are going to have a proper battle all the way to the end. Now you can see Derg trying to get by Idle Gaming. He gets there eventually. Let's just drop down the order then. Phaser in fourth, Smoky Tom in fifth. Can't quite get close enough to Phaser now to take that fourth spot away from him. On his own a bit now, Smoky Tom. Then we've got Biggers in sixth. Idle, as we've just seen, in seventh. And Brian Moncani in eighth. Still on a charge, but he's not making any real headway into this. We've got 7.5 minutes of this race to go, so if Brian wants to catch up to the back of Idle, he's going to have to put his foot down. Big Mac in 9th, with Stealth just behind in 10th. Then we've got Molepiece and Nath in 12th. Grasshopper with the current fastest lap, a 1:31.7. Just opened up another little bit of a gap from Unforgiven as Grasshopper. They were right on his tail towards the end of last lap, but he's managed to get himself a bit of breathing space again. Unforgiven though, on board with Unforgiven, and if you have a look in his mirror, that's what you see. That's Derg chasing hard. Just get closer and closer and then has to back off. Down to turn 11. Oh, and Derg trying to have a look at the inside there. Now he's going to have to wait because you're not going to get it done through the chicane. Really trying to force an error from Unforgiven, but Alex is having none of that, is he? Now, can Derg get it done? On the straights. He's getting closer and closer, isn't he? He's not going to get it done here unless Unforgiven gives him a bit of room. Through turns 2, 3 and 4. Then it's down the hill towards the hairpin. Now maybe Derg is looking at getting on the inside of Unforgiven. Trying a similar move to what he did earlier on. Take the tighter line. Later on the brakes. No, Unforgiven has just completely closed the door on that one. So Derg having to follow Unforgiven round again, although he's got a fantastic exit. He is right up the arse of Unforgiven, pulls to the right. Has he got the power to pull alongside that BMW? As they go through the tunnel. Unforgiven still out in front. Only just though. Derg is really giving him a run for his money, isn't he? Derg again having a look at the inside. Around turn 11, down the hill towards the chicane. They can't go side by side into the chicane. Surely somebody's, yes, and Derg has to back out. Unforgiven goes across them sausages. That's a massive risk. He's picked up a penalty as well. I think the pressure there was too much for Unforgiven. He went across them sausages. picked up a half-a-second penalty. So that now, Dirk will see that, and that will give him the incentive he needs. He's just got to stick with Unforgiven, because when Alex has to serve that penalty, Dirk can snatch that second spot away from him. I'm just going to stick with these two guys just for a second, just to see if Dirk can nick that spot. Down the hill towards turn 5 for the 17th time, and it looks like Dirk has got himself in front before they even reach the penalty zone, so that's going to work out even better for Dirk, although Alex is fighting back. Now it's side by side. I think Alex has just got his bumper in front of Dirk, and maybe the BMW is just too much for that Lexus. Alex can fight it all he likes, but he has got that half-a-second penalty. So Dirk will definitely take second spot away from him. Although Dirk wants to do it on his own. Now, Unforgiven just needs to take his time through this chicane again. Still side by side. Dirk just backing out at the very last second. You can see the bar starting to fill up now, so Unforgiven, his brakes are going to be slammed on. There we go. So Dirk, with the momentum, should make the pass easily, and he does. Well, this is going to get interesting now. Let's just have a look. Grasshopper out in front while those two have been fighting. That's enabled him to just scamper away. I'm just looking at the fuel. Grasshopper is about quarter of a tank, so he's fine. Dirk, quarter of a tank, he's about fine. However, Unforgiven, the fuel light is on and flashing. So the question now is, he's had to come in. Yeah. Now, was that an error from Unforgiven not putting enough fuel in last time? I don't know, but Unforgiven, unfortunately, has had to come into the pits, which is going to drop him down the order. Smoky Tom has taken that third podium spot away from him. Unforgiven back out now, but in fourth. Phaser with his teammate. Is it his teammate? Well, they both got yellow merc, so they are now. So Phaser in fifth, biggest 6, Idle is 7th. As Phaser goes by Idle. Brian Moncani still in 8th, the Big Mac down in 9th. A bit of a lonely race for the Big Mac. We have just about 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Stealth in 10th, Nath 11th, and Molepiece in 12th. Not really seen much of Molepiece in this race, have we? It's been a bit of a lonely race for him at the back. Not really had to fight anybody. So back up to our race leader as he takes turn 5. We are 29 minutes into this race, so we are into the last minute. So this will be the last lap for Grasshopper. I'm just going to keep an eye on the map in the top right. I just want to see who is going to be crossing the line first, with about 20 seconds or so to go. I do like to see the guys as they cross the line, so I'm just going to have a quick look and see if I can find who it is going to be. Nath, I think, might just make it across, so it could be Molepiece. Or is Molepiece going to get another lap in? No, Molepiece has finished in 12th, so it will be Grasshopper that crosses the line first and in first position. So our race winner is Grasshopper. Congratulations to him. Dirk in second after a great battle with Unforgiven. Smoky Tom in third. I know he'll be pleased with that. Unforgiven, not quite sure what happened with the fuel, but he had to make that pit stop, didn't he? which cost him at least 2 places, but Unforgiven comes in 4. Phaser's going to take 5th. Then we've got Biggest. Oh, I thought we were going to slam into the barrier then. Biggest takes 6. With Idle 4 Gaming crossing the line in 7th. Brian Moncani in 8th. Couldn't quite catch up to the back of Idle, could he? Big Mac a little way behind, just going through the chicane now. So the Big Mac is going to take 9th. Stealth is going to be 10th, Nath 11th, and as we've already said, Maltese has crossed the line in 12th. So this was race 1 at Tokyo. Hope you can join me shortly for race 2. As we're going to watch Stealth and Nath cross the line. Remember, if you do like this content, hit the like button, and if you could you see your way clear to subscribing, that would be fantastic. I shall catch you all very shortly.